I came to do a tutorial. This was a requested tutorial and someone asked me how I do my eyebrows. I am still experimenting with ways to do my eyebrows. It all started when I overplucked my brow. First I started penciling them in. Over time my eyebrows just got smaller and smaller. At one point my eyebrows were seriously like a line, like one line. And I would look back at pictures and I'd be like, that this is just the way that I do my eyebrows. I never learned how from, you know, like a professional how to do my eyebrows. Alright, so basically first we want to make sure that we have a matte surface to work with. Very oil free. So I'm just using some Covergirl powder. You can use any type of powder. You can even use loose powder to just kind of blot around the area so that none of the pencil, the waxy surface will slip off. So next I'm going to go in with MAC Spike eyebrow pencil, and it looks like this. I'm just going to draw a line like so. Now this process is usually much quicker, but since I'm showing you guys and I'm not used to being in this mirror or lighting, it's going to take a little longer. Now we're going to do another line, and don't worry, I know that doesn't look straight. This line is on the bottom of your eyebrow. Now we're going to lighter outline the top. This is basically just to give a more like structured look. And almost to use as a guide for here we made a line. We started the line, instead of starting it directly parallel to where this is, well, the bottom line juts out a little further than the top line. Top line is in a little bit because we want a slant like this. We don't want a straight brow like this. I mean, you can have one, but that's not typically what I do. I just try to have mine out the slightest bit more. So next I'm going to go in with Smashbox, and this is Brow Tech Brunette. I'm using the brown powder, and this is just a Target angle brush. It's actually an eyeliner brush. You can use any type of angle brush that you want. So this is an eyeliner brush. This was definitely like a cheaper brush, but it works just as well. Now I'm going to concentrate on the lower line first. Tracing over that lower line. This will also seal in that pencil. So I'm going to trace over here. Alright, so now we have that lower line traced over. So next we're going to lightly, not take any more product, but just kind of buff out this part. We want this a little lighter. Eyebrows are not one-dimensional. Sometimes people have the flat color all over, but if you look at someone who really has more eyebrows, whose eyebrows are naturally full, you'll see that they're darker in some areas and lighter in others. So they're going to get lighter as they go to the top, which is why we made that line lighter. And next I'm going to almost take the inner corner of my brush, this part, the top, tallest part, and I'm going to focus on that part and drag a line down lightly, very lightly. You can also probably do this with a pencil if you do it very lightly. I just find the results look more natural with a brush, but as you'll see in a little bit, that actually probably won't even matter. I just do it because it's what I'm used to doing. Alright, so here we have the basis of our eyeliner. So in order to clean things up, I'm going to go in with a concealer that is, I would say, about 2 or even 3 shades lighter than me. It's pretty light. See, it looks like this. So next I'm taking a concealer brush. This is just Sonya Kashuk. You can take any type of concealer brush like this. Trace underneath the brow that I drew. So I'm just going to trace a line like this. Now this is like an eraser. So not only are you erasing the lines that you may have gone out of and drawing a more straight line, but you're also erasing any maybe little hairs that you have. Now this is not a miracle worker, people. You definitely still want to tweeze your brows when you can, or get them waxed. It won't cover like really humongous hairs. Believe me, I tried to do that on someone before and it ended up looking worse. So just kind of run that in a little, especially try to blend it downwards because we don't want any harsh lines like this. So next we go in with a little more product, slightly less than you put on the bottom. We're going to put it on top. So you're basically outlining the top part of the brow now. And then angle down with your part. I use my finger to do this. If I were working on someone else, I would use a brush for sanitary reasons, but it's myself, so. We still have a little product left on the brush. For this part, you do not want to pick up more product. But I'm just going to trace this part. And remember, we're doing the angle down a little. And then rubbing that in to blend it. Alright, now here's the last part of the concealer. We're just going to dab what's left on the inner portion. You may need to pick up the slightest bit more, but try not to pick up too much because you still want this to show up. Now the reason we do this is because if you notice on people's eyebrows, they're typically thinner on the inner portions and then they get darker towards the bottom and outer, so we are emulating a real eyebrow. Now that looks a little funky, so what we're going to do now is use the leftover product on our eyebrow brush and just lightly go in like this. Kind of funny. I'm going to go in with a little more product. This is also very unpredictable. Sometimes I have good eyebrow days, sometimes I have bad ones. I don't know what kind of eyebrow day I'm going to have. So it depends on how much of a perfectionist you are. This may be fine to some people. I can totally see the difference. But for someone just looking at your face, unless they really studied it, I'm sure that they would not see a difference. I'm sure that they do not care. Alright, so the last thing that we're going to do to add some dimension is go in again with MAC's spiked pencil, and we're going to draw in a little more, shade in, where'd it go? Some under the lines. The reason we do this is once again to add to the less 1D look, one-dimensional look. So I just like to shade in on the bottom here, definitely further away from that area we just concealed on the front part of the brow. So I shade in on the bottom and kind of go back a little, but stay towards the bottom like that. Alright. And you can drag it out a little more depending on how your eyeshadow goes.